Spending some time alone with the weapons and characters of the Dead Rising universe may not be the best thing for your safety or mental stability.
Why don't you try taking some of my suggestions?
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 craziest things in Dead Rising.
Anti-zombie perfume. It could keep us safe in that cave.
For this list, we're looking at items and people from Dead Rising and its sequels that most exemplify the series' fixation on wacky, weird, and occasionally unsettling creations. Be they survivors with a distaste for humanity or adorable killing machines, they definitely prove that Dead Rising will never cease to amaze and horrify in equal measure. Number 10. Ted Smith and Snowflake, Dead Rising 2.
People not been very good to me. Not like Snowflake.
A boy and his pet tiger. Yeah, that's pretty weird. In Dead Rising 2, motocross champion turned zombie slayer Chuck Green ends up in the clutches of one Ted Smith, a tiger trainer with a chip on his shoulders. As revealed through dialogue, Ted is severely antisocial and potentially intellectually disabled, befriending the tiger Snowflake and forsaking human connections due to past mockery.
They all said that! Ted not slow!
Ted's short temper and willingness to feed other survivors to Snowflake are definitely troubling, as is his dying plea for Snowflake to eat him. Once Ted is slain, though, we then get to witness Chuck tame and offer Snowflake to his daughter Katie as a pet. Does that make him a great father or a terrible one? Maybe both. Number 9. Dragon Punch, Dead Rising 3. Over the course of Dead Rising 3, players can find a great deal of interesting and unusual weapons to construct using other weapons and components. One such unorthodox weapon is the Dragon Punch, built by combining, of all things, a motorcycle engine and boxing gloves. When equipped, the Dragon Punch allows players to smack zombies around with over-the-top punching attacks. One of the attacks even allows players to perform the Shoryuken, the famed move from the Street Fighter games. For bonus points, Dragon Punch is actually an alternative name for the Shoryuken. Well played, Capcom. Well played. Number 8. Massive Bomb, Dead Rising 3. On the topic of impressive firepower, here we have an end-to-all zombie conflict, created through the combination of an enormous bomb and a laptop. The massive bomb's size requires it to be carried outside of one's inventory at all times. However, once the device is activated and thrown, the main draw becomes clear. It can eradicate hundreds of zombies at once. The device lures in all nearby zombies before vaporizing them in one fell swoop, with the amusing side effect of also stripping the player of their clothes. It is at once awesome and hilarious. Number 7. Sean Keanan, Dead Rising.
Those who reject salvation embrace ignorance.
When cults are involved, can you really expect anything other than crazy shenanigans? Sean Keanan leads the true I cult, who believes that by executing other survivors, they themselves will be spared from death or from becoming zombies.
The only path to the salvation of the soul.
For his part, Keanan sends forth his disciples to kill photojournalist Frank West on sight, prepares captives for execution, and battles attackers with a ceremonial sword. At once unhinged and devoted to his beliefs, it's fitting that Keanan meets his end at the hands of a mannequin his cult had worshipped. Number 6. Freedom Bear, Dead Rising 2. Liberty's most adorable warrior hard at work. The prospect of Chuck Green finding oversized robot bears in Dead Rising 2 is amusing in and of itself, even before the idea to modify said stuffed animals comes to mind. So we're hard-pressed not to laugh hysterically or gape in awe at the sight of Freedom Bear, one such bear armed with an LMG and ready to kill. Freedom Bear can be set on the ground and left to act as a sentry, gunning down any zombies that cross its field of view. That this magnificent creation was brought back for Dead Rising 3 is hardly a surprise. Number 5. Real Mega Buster, Dead Rising. It's not a Capcom joint without at least one inter-franchise nod. Although we already had the Dragon Punch, enter the Real Mega Buster, a fully functioning replica of Mega Man's iconic weapon that shoots actual energy blasts. Further, its shots can kill any foe in less than 5 hits and can be used 300 times. Setting aside the absurdity of a Mega Man weapon appearing in a setting somewhat closer to reality, the challenge tied to obtaining the Mega Buster is truly something else. To get the Real Mega Buster, players must kill 53,594 zombies in a single playthrough. Number 4. Cliff Hudson, Dead Rising.
You can't tell me, can you, fella? Oh yeah, I know why.
Mental instability and combat experience? What a winning combination. When Frank West happens upon a hardware store decorated with headless zombie corpses, he is soon greeted and attacked by Cliff Hudson. A veteran of the Vietnam War, Hudson relies on sneak attacks, smoke-producing flares, and ferocious machete strikes to get the drop on Frank. Once bested, however, the reason for Cliff's brutality is made clear. He witnessed his granddaughter getting devoured by zombies and was overwhelmed by flashbacks to his time in Vietnam. Cliff very much serves as a reminder that, for all their bizarre and comical traits, the psychopaths of Dead Rising are deeply troubled human beings at their core. Number 3. Psychopath Chuck Green. Dead Rising 2, Off the Record.
Hey! You get the hell away from my bike!
Tragedy often leads to insanity, apparently. Off the Record offers an interesting spin on Chuck Green, portraying him as a bitter loner divorced from reality after losing Katie to the zombie horde. When Frank West encounters him in the alternate version of Dead Rising 2, a misunderstanding leads Chuck to hop on his sleigh cycle and attack Frank mercilessly. Setting aside his attachment to said chainsaw-protected motorcycle, what illustrates Chuck's loss of sanity best is his protectiveness of the doll taped to his back, implied to be a stand-in for Katie. It's quite sad, but not unexpected when zombies are on the loose.
You're okay. You're safe now.
Number 2. Chef Antoine, Dead Rising 2.
Come in, finally.
How about we not have what he's having? Discovered by Chuck Green in the Royal Flush Plaza, Chef Antoine Thomas is unrelenting about his desire to prepare the ultimate dish for a magazine reporter that will never really come. It becomes increasingly clear that Antoine has crossed the line with his cuisine. Specifically, he's opted to start cooking human flesh, and is holding survivors captive to use for his meals.
I've been waiting for you! Who the hell would want to eat this?
Combat-wise, Antoine is just as unhinged, given his attempts to force apples down Chuck's throat, hit him with a frying pan, and toss anything not bolted down at Chuck. Before we unveil our top pick, here's a few honorable mentions.
That door does not open again until you start being a little bit more obedient.
Number 1. Adam the Clown, Dead Rising. Here, they somehow made clowns seem even less appealing and sane. Encountered by Frank near the Space Rider roller coaster, Adam McIntyre makes a terrifying first impression. He's a clown performer in full makeup, he wields twin chainsaws, and his high-pitched voice is deliberately at odds with his anguish over the demise of his audience.
When the zombies came, everyone died!
Adam also breathes fire when provoked and can spin his chainsaws in circles as an attack, making the fight with him all the more nightmare-inducing. And that's before we even get to his gruesome demise, wherein he falls on his own chainsaws. Hey, have fun sleeping tonight. So, do you agree with our list? What do you feel are the craziest things from Dead Rising?
Start with you before I get to her!
For more ludicrous top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.
You gave me blue balls, you tease.